I'm just going to prepare you for my presentation. I haven't had much training in this, but I'm always willing and available to have new experiences because I desire to grow and learn and take charge of my future, which is the theme here today. This is my daughter, Emmy. She's agreed to come today to maybe say a few words. We both have quite a story. We've had a lifelong experience of obstacles and many experiences in our lives that were negative. However, today, her and I both have made a pact, and we have begun to change the direction of our life. And of course, this is my second semester here at Weatherford College. When I began last semester, I possessed a desire to start a journey to earn a degree. Well, that is just a decision. The hard work is actually implementing it in your life and taking action. And so, it had been 30 years since I had been in school. I had actually encountered Weatherford College 10 years ago and attempted to enroll. I made it a couple of weeks and I had to drop out. So I came back 10 years later and started implementing these seeds that are infused in my heart, my dreams, my desires to improve the quality of my life and change the direction. Y'all forgive me if I get a little emotional because this topic is more than just a topic for me. It's a life theme, goal for my life. I'm 45. I dropped out of school in the 9th grade. I've overcame drug addictions. I've been to prison 3 times. Those are just some of the negative things that have happened and experiences that I've had in my life. On the upside, I have 3 beautiful children. I have 2 sons and I have 1 daughter. I'd like to share with y'all one of my earliest memories that I have as a child. I remember as a child being all alone, walking to and from school, and my mother was an alcoholic. I don't have any memories of my mother ever hugging me, giving me any support of any kind, and so that did have an impact on my life. So basically, in saying that is I had to learn how to survive in life. I had to raise myself, basically. So that probably maybe influenced some of the choices that I made growing up. Again, I dropped out of school in the 9th grade and I started using drugs at a very early age. Ran away from home. I think at 15 I was in Phoenix, Arizona. Came back, went through my first drug rehab at 16, 6 months. Actually, I got released and they actually kicked me out of the state of Texas. I had to go to the airport and fly to my father's house in Pennsylvania when I got out. I was mixed up with a pretty bad crowd at an early age. When I got to Pennsylvania, that was the first onset that I realized, and this was only at the age of 16, I realized I need to do something with my life. So for a period of time, I went back to school. I achieved my GED at the age of 16. Got my first few jobs, and then I decided to come back to Texas within about maybe a year later. So I come back to Texas. I did well for a short time, and then I got back into the drug scene. For me, as I reflect back now, I see that many years of my life, I lived in the survival mode. It worked well for those years, but actually, at the age of 19, I got pregnant with my first child, my son. I decided to get back out of that scene and try to do things right. Something I didn't realize at that time that I realize now is that I lacked a whole lot of skills, life skills, coping skills. I couldn't function, but I did the best I could with what I had to work with. So in saying that, I have repeatedly over the last 20 years or so tried to make some changes in my life that were ineffective, that I failed to do so. Again, I've been to prison 3 times during this time frame, and I've been struggling and battling with trying to find a way to improve the quality of my life and change the direction. However, when I decided to actually come back to school this time around, all of those experiences and things that have happened to me and that I have been through, they carried a lot of guilt. Well, at some point you have to grow up and take responsibility, and you have to acknowledge a level of maturity in your life to actually to grow and become a part of society and become a functioning adult. Well, I've chose to do that by coming back to college. I'd like to hopefully encourage or inspire somebody today, because when I got here, again, it was just still that decision. I hadn't actually took any action yet. Well, today I have an office job. I have my own office, and I work a little bit on computers, but I lacked many skills that I needed to actually be successful in being a college student here. I had no actual computer skills. I had been out of school for 30 years, therefore the developmental math that was required of me to actually, y'all forgive me, I'm getting nervous. My developmental math class that I'm taking, I've never been taught algebra, so I had to learn many things to kind of function in college to actually get past the first few weeks, let alone the first semester. And so my hand goes up to the many staff members here. They have always just accepted me for right where I was at, and have always encouraged me and helped me help myself. And so I just had to step out in faith, even though I had a lot of inferior feelings about doing the things that I really didn't feel like I was equipped to do. But I kind of brought that desire of my heart into a reality when I started walking forward. And what I've noticed is that through every opportunity that I have that makes me feel awkward and uncomfortable, I gain from that, and I actually grow. And so, in saying all of that, I just would like to say that as I continue to move forward and keep walking, I'm not perfect and I'm not where I really want to be, but I'm taking steps in a better direction, and I'm actually growing and learning, and my horizon is kind of broadening. It's kind of opening up a little further, and so I'm looking forward to this next semester. I made it through the first semester. I actually ended with a 4.0 GPA, made the dean's list, and that was very hard work for me. Many hours, 2 tutors. The Success Connection was my best friend. The Writing Center was my other best friend, and all 4 of my professors' office was my next best friend. So, but this campus is designed to help you succeed if you're willing to take the steps you need to make to be successful. I can't believe I found the courage to just come out up here and spill my history and my life experiences with you. But I have a desire to be a better mother than the mother that I had growing up. I don't blame her. I just know that she just wasn't able to be the kind of mother that I desire to be for my child. And what I did is I took charge of my future. I am changing the direction of my life. And it's all by this education, as Mr. John spoke of. It opens many doors of opportunities. And you know, in saying those few life experiences that were negative for me, it made a heck of an impact on my children and my daughter. Her life was headed in a negative direction. She was somewhat following in some of those footsteps. But when I decided to change the direction of my life and make some changes, I had to watch her go through some things a few times, and I had to stay strong and keep my ground that I had gained. And she navigated through those, and by watching me as an example, it must have made an impact, because she decided that, hey Mom, I don't want to go that direction. I want to go back to school. I don't know how to do it, but I'm going to follow your lead, and I'm going to take that ball and I'm going to run with it. So anyway, in saying all that, I'm going to let her maybe say a few words on how her life has been impacted by some of the decisions and things that I have done in my life.
Okay, I've never spoken into a microphone before. This is my first time. Okay, I started off going in a wrong direction, as my mom was saying. I've never been more proud of anybody in my life. It's been probably 10 years since I haven't even spoken or have any contact with her. Growing up, I grew up really without my parents. We were taken up from CPS when I was younger. We grew up in the foster care system, me and my brother moving home to home for about 6 or 7 years. So I really never had any sense of direction. It's kind of like a GPS, you have to have your GPS for everywhere you go on the road. That's kind of how I apply it to my life, because I had no idea what I was doing until I turned about a year ago. I always thought that the wrong way was the right way to go, because everybody would tell me, man, I'm really nervous, guys. You guys gotta be patient with me. My mom, she would always tell me when I'm younger, you need to do the right thing, you should stay in school, you should do this, and it kind of faded away from me as I got older. I grew up in high school and I started getting into fights. I started going to juvenile. I started running away. I started not listening to what people would tell me. Like I said, I thought the wrong way was the right way to go. And I adopted out when I turned 14. And I ran away when I turned 16. I got sent to a bunch of drug rehabs at 16 years old. I dropped out my senior year. I had 6 months left. And I moved down here to Texas from North Carolina. And I heard from my mom. I heard that she had gotten out of prison. And I'm sitting here thinking, oh, okay, again, is she had told me that she's ready to make a change. And I'm sitting here thinking, okay, is she serious this time? Or am I just going to be headed down the wrong path once again? I was just ready for the same impact I had had the rest of my life. But come to find out, she was actually serious, and I started seeing her doing the right things. I started seeing her progressing in school. She'd started school, and I was down the wrong path. I had already dropped out of high school. I started getting involved with a bunch of drug dealers. I started dating older men that were, 20 years older than me. I started just doing things that were out of this world and crazy and unnatural for a 19-year-old to be doing. She had to watch me go through some things. I got involved with a murder case. I actually haven't even gone to trial for it yet. I have to go and testify against somebody who ran someone over and killed them. I was charged with it because somebody had tried to put the charge on me, and it was one of the worst things I had to go through. I don't know how I made it through it emotionally, but today I stand here and I'm just thankful that I made it through that and beat that case, because, oh my goodness, I shouldn't have to go through that. A 19-year-old shouldn't have to go through something like that. But Mom stood there by my side, and, she stands there and tells me that, after, when the dust settles, you just get up and shake it off. That's one thing that I've learned that she's always told me. I am in the process of getting my GED right now. I'm engaged to a wonderful man, and I am going to be starting college in August here at Weatherford College. But the struggle, you really don't know what something is like until it hits you, until you've gone through it yourself. And you can tell people's stories all day long, and they can tell you they understand, but you really don't understand until you've gone through it firsthand. I've matured a lot. I probably have the mentality of some things of a 25 to a 30-year-old because I've been through a lot of things, and I've really seen, God's given me a lot of wisdom, and I thank Him for that. Especially with this woman standing by my side, her being in school and her making a change in her life, it's like a chain link. It goes down. She's making a change in our family, and I'm going to be the second woman to make a change in our family, and it's going to go down through generations for as long as we're here. But I'm really proud of her, and I'm really proud that, she can make a change in my life, because she is definitely my inspiration. But if you set your mind to do something and you're really willing to make a change and you're really willing to put your mind forth in doing something, I promise it's going to happen. It may take time and it may take some patience, but just pray for whatever you need, and I promise your prayers are going to be answered, because that man upstairs, he's one heck of a man. And I'm still nervous. I'm like going to pass out. I'm so nervous. But it's about all I have to say, just do what you got to do.